from the South African batters, particularly these two who've reached their milestones, is perhaps some batters that are somewhat mentally relaxed. To look at his numbers in Test match cricket and what he'd give for 25 to read something like, I don't know, 16, 17. Despite many of those half centuries being particularly important. And no doubt there isn't an underestimation of the value of those 50s where South Africa in certain games were under pressure and he kind of dogged them out of trouble and got them over the line. Fair enough. But just as he reads the numbers, and let's go to 2024 particularly, and you reeled off the stats, Nat, there'll be those who'll say, and he'll probably feel it, maybe not now, maybe in a time to come, that he could have turned those into hundreds. And I won't say easily, because it's never easy.
Especially not in his situation where he was often batting with the tail, because he was, certainly at the beginning of his career, batting a lot lower. You almost want, from a stats perspective, 50s that are weighted differently.
Some are late starters, late bloomers. He could be one of them. Because it takes a little bit of extra time, really, to adjust to that 100 mentality. I just feel that he's got it now. He's cracked the code. And a lot of hundreds are waiting him. What a season. Tremendous season.
I'd like to think we're all late bloomers. 181 for 3. Ryan Rickleton started out attacking. Some beautiful shots from him, straight down the ground, then through the offside as well. Eventually it started to change a little bit when he started to score more behind square. And the innings continued to evolve as he slowed down a bit before 50. Rode the wave as a few wickets fell around him. Got to the lunch break in a decent position on 50. And since the lunch break, he's managed to double his score. Excellent strike rate as well by Rickleton.
He's your typical modern player. Very busy and runs all around, especially through point and cover. A couple of lovely drives as well through mid-on and mid-off. But third man area was kept busy. There's no one there initially to stop him from earning fours. But it's the pace and the ability really to bounce back, because he looked completely out of sorts at Centurion. To bounce back as an opener. South Africa taking a little bit of risk, but that has paid off, clearly. A little different from spin point of view from Pakistan. South Shakil is a left arm spinner, doesn't spin it much, but different angle now for Bavuma and Rickleton to see off. Sorry, Kamran Ghulam, not South Shakil, but Kamran Ghulam, which similar in stature.
Now, trying something a little different before the tea break, and I'm afraid there'll be another extra. Just had the 4 leg byes so far, but this time around, a no ball. So often talk about breaks and what can happen during a break, before the break, after the break, maybe a lapse in concentration. And this is such a crucial over before a tea break to possibly break the partnership, and they've gone for something a little different. This is making it a little easy for South Africa just before tea.
Often the clues in selection when teams, home teams, name their 11s a long way out. You want to take heed. I remember a time South Africa and Sri Lanka decided, oh, I'll play 4 fast bowlers, and Sri Lanka picked 3 spinners, and sort of went, hold on, what's going on? South Africa with 1 spinner.
Is that it?
50 overs have been bowled in the innings. It's 184 for and Kumar Damasina confirms it's time for tea. What a session for South Africa. Wicketless. Runs coming. Getting both Bavuma and Rickleton past a milestone. For Rickleton, it's his 2nd Test 100. Bavuma, Test match 50, number 25. Look at that run rate.
What a session. Particularly after the way the first session ended. 3 wickets taken by Pakistan in quick succession, and they would have hoped that they would continue that momentum into session 2. Rickleton and Bavuma solid in their defense, quite adept also at working the ball into gaps. Wonderful drives and deflections played, and at a rate of knots they've accumulated their partnership also of 112. Excellent work done. Tea and scones will taste delicious.
Yeah, making up for that first session where Pakistan looked just a little bit better side. This really has been tremendous comeback by South Africa. Keeping that at arm's length. No wicket has gone down. Pakistan toiled hard.
Excellent work done.
But it's South Africa all the way. 184 for the loss of 3 after winning the toss and electing to bat. This is turning out to be now a same decision. First session where Pakistan looked
and maybe
just a little bit better side.
Importance in terms of the context of this Test match.
By South Africa. Keeping that at arm's length.
2 sessions so far on the surface. It still looks really good from a batting perspective. So 184 it is for South Africa at tea, a wicketless session for them.
After winning the toss and electing to bat,
Rickleton and Bavuma have batted beautifully together. 112. They knew they needed a partnership after 72 for 3. And these two raised their hands and said, yeah, it'll be up to us. They've done the job perfectly. 2 sessions so far on the surface.
Let's see what the Pakistani bowlers did. Abbas was, as always, as usual, meticulous with his line and length. 1 for 46 on a tough pitch. It's not a typical Abbas pitch. Mir Hamza was included in the playing 11, none for 43. Khurram got a wicket and 1 wicket to Salman Ali Agha. Pakistan didn't have a great time of it in the middle session. The first session was a good one for them. Can they bounce back after tea? Abbas was, as always, as usual, meticulous.
184 then for South Africa in their first innings. It's going to be fascinating to watch the final session of day 1. For now, we'll have a break, and then you'll be back with Kat Naidu in the studio.
Pakistan didn't have a great time of it in the middle session. The first session was a good one for them. Can they bounce back after tea?
184 then for South Africa in their first innings. It's going to be fascinating to watch the final session of day 1. For now, we'll have a break, and you'll be back with Kat Naidu in the studio.
Ciao, vediamo se...
That's incredible, and all the feedback so far. South Africa, you are very, very welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Before I let you go, a special message for our Kingston visitors as we head into 2025. Cape is the best city in the world. This is the best place to have a holiday, the best place to live, and the best place to watch cricket. Have an awesome 2025 with thanks for being such a great set. Thank you very much. You heard it from the back. At the top of the bounce picks up. Mayor's edi-topia. Thanks for joining us. There we go. Mayor's joined us. Everyone's at the cricket. So are you. If you're wonderful to have you, we'll see you after the tea break. Mayor's edi-topia. Thanks for joining us. There we go. Mayor's joined us. Everyone's at the cricket. So are you. If you're wonderful to have you, we'll see you after the tea break. Mayor's edi-topia. Thanks for joining us. There we go. Mayor's joined us. Everyone's at the cricket. So are you. If you're wonderful to have you, we'll see you after the tea break.
And then introduce the guys, basically. As soon as I come out of the vault, I'll introduce. What's a nice talking point out of that, Quinton? One is just really being able to. As soon as I come out of the vault, I'll introduce. What's a nice talking point out of that, Quinton? One is just really being able to. As soon as I come out of the vault. What's a nice talking point out of that, Quinton? One is just really being able to. As soon as I come out of the vault. What's a nice talking point out of that, Quinton? One is just really being able to. As soon as I come out of the vault. What's a nice talking point out of that, Quinton? One is just really being able to.
That's how we like it. That's how it goes. Come on now, baby, let me ease your soul. That's how we live life. Live it up to the top. 'Cause once we start, you know we're never gonna stop. We're winning every time.
Something.
Yep, there you go. And straight away behind, they all went up. I'll be particularly chuffed with this.
Gone! There's a second. 2 in a row. Burned the man.
Oh, what scenes here in Johannesburg. Oh, that's the back of the bat. That's gone off the back of the bat, and that is out.
2 in a row.
There's the wicket. Yes, the outside edge is found. And South Africa have their breakthrough, and Dale Steyn goes past Richard Hadley on the all-time wicket takers list.
Look at the joy on his face, Quinton de Kock.
There's the wicket.
Gee, what a delivery that is. What a delivery. Steyn now has 2.
And Dale Steyn goes past Richard Hadley.
Oh, it's a glove, and this time it's out. What a ferocious delivery that was. Wow, he has been unbelievable, Olivier.
I think that's it. Yes, it is. Oh, what a nut.
And this time it's out.
Not too much he could do about that.
Ferocious delivery.
Olivier with a brute of a delivery.
He has been unbelievable, Olivier.
I think that's it. Yes, it is. Oh, what a nut.
Yes! He's done it. With brilliance at the ball ring, Quinton de Kock goes to his 4th Test match 100. A joyous one. Yes!
Brilliant performance from Quinton de Kock, and you can see how much it means to him. He's absolutely elated, and he's been superb. It's come off 121 deliveries. The last few runs were very difficult to get to. Fully deserved.
This century obviously meant a lot to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting to a century will mean a lot. I've worked hard at my game over the last couple of months, and to finally get the rewards, it's meant a lot to me.
This century obviously meant a lot to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting to a century will mean a lot.
What a career. Quinton de Kock, there was a player of the match performance. Polly was on comms, and Vern was in the game. I was watching. That was a good game.
Tell you what, he has a special player. I think he had this wonderful ability to change the momentum of the game. And just the character that he is off the field as well. Wonderful to have him in the change room. I know him a little bit deeper than just being a player, so wonderful character in total, but what a player he was for South Africa.
His batting or his interviews. We still love his interviews.
How much did he give you in the interviews? Not much.
Yeah, he didn't always give you the most, but it was always something that was very amusing. What a class player. And I suppose Ryan Rickleton is exactly the kind of replacement we've been looking for. When he was the runs at the top of the order, the ability to keep all those good things. Let's hope that this 100 that he's got here will really kick him off.
Yeah, a wonderful session for South Africa. Temba Bavuma won the toss, elected to bat first this morning. A wonderful 60-run stand, but then South Africa lost 3 for 11. Pakistan would have felt at lunch 72 for 3. They're right back in it. But this stand between Bavuma and Rickleton of 112 has put South Africa right back on course. A century from Rickleton. Bavuma's on 51. Pakistan looking good at tea, 184 for 3. But this stand between Bavuma and Rickleton throughout the summer, he has shown his ability to trust his skill set. His timing today has been special.
Yeah, I think what has really impressed me is just the composure that he's backed with. I think the ability to shift from white ball format to red ball format, and the patience that he's shown, the maturity to step up to this sort of level and really trust his technique to get himself through. I think he's had a wonderful ability to shift gears as well. You know when to up the ante. So when he's been presented with some scoring opportunity, I think he's taken full advantage. But once again, just wonderful in the composure department.
Yeah, I think Pakistan, from a length perspective, I think you needed to try and be as full as possible at Supersport Park, but I think they've overdone the full deliveries with the ball not moving through the air, not nipping off the surface. You almost needed to go the other way, come a bit shorter and really hold and just keep going through to the keeper. But he has cashed in on anything that's been overpitched, and his driving's been the real exemplary part of his performance here today. I think he's also got to, you've got to say, would he have played? Tony Dezorzi. Yeah, Tony Dezorzi. If he was fit, would Ryan Rickleton have played? I mean, he's been kind of shuffled up the order, and they've talked about the tendency to want to have Bjorn Mulder at number 3. So he might have missed out in this game, and that's what sport's all about. Your career's all about, is that if you do get presented with opportunity, you have to produce, and he's done exactly that today. Now it'll be a hard person to leave out. I mean, it's his second 100 of the season so far. Not much that's gone besides that, but he's shown the ability that if he gets himself in, he goes on and gets big scores.
Yeah, he couldn't have asked for a better person to be batting alongside than Temba Bavuma. We heard Tristan Stubbs talking about how the captain calms him down at the crease when he made his century in Durban. But again, Bavuma just looks like the runs machine that he's been this summer. Yeah,
and I think this conditions cried out for a Temba Bavuma-like innings. You know he's going to be patient. You know he's going to take his time to get himself in. And as a batter on this surface, you really have to get yourself out. So there's plenty of runs in the surface if you just apply yourself, and having a Temba Bavuma alongside any batter will install calmness, will give you the confidence of knowing that you can score at your particular rate. And wonderful again from the captain, leading from the front. He's been in excellent form, and you can see he wants to make it count this time round.
50 overs for South Africa's 184 for 3. You almost get a sense that this final session, South Africa will want to really put Pakistan under pressure. But how do bowlers come back in the final session yet, Newland? You did it so often.
Yeah, I think you need to find your edge at this stage. I think you're going to sit down at tea time now, and you're going to have to work out tactics that's going to make you effective on this surface. For me, again, it's the energy that you bring to the party. I think as the Pakistan bowling outfit, they're just looking a little bit flat in the energy department. So again, the word intensity comes to mind, but tactics is going to be key. I think you're going to have a couple of catches, mid-wicket, catching cover, and just trying to get the ball, get them driving on the up.
From a South African perspective, you've got Bavuma and Rickleton. They've reached their milestones. How do they approach this final session?
Yeah, I think more of the same. We just saw in the first session there was a couple of outside edges that dropped short, but there was basically nothing for Pakistan to work with in that second innings. And it's almost like Temba can book himself in for a long haul here. You've got Ryan Rickleton who's got to his 100. I don't see, unless Temba kind of goes out of his shell, I don't know how Pakistan are going to come up with a plan to try and knock him over. He looks set for a big innings as well. So this is when you've won up in the series, you really got to ground them. You've got the best of the batting conditions. So you have to just ground Pakistan out in that field and make sure that you give them absolutely nothing. Pakistan will probably be holding on for that second new ball, but because of the score rate, it's taken them so long to get through their overs. You're probably only going to get that new ball for 3 or 4 overs tonight with the current over rate that they're operating at now. So South Africa, they are set stern and in front. We did see in PE, though, there was one time where they were looking really good and then they lost a couple of wickets, so they can't afford to that as a reference point.
Sean, Vern, thank you very much. That's how we're going to wrap up things here at tea time. South Africa 184 for 3 after 50 overs. And we'll take a short break and be back with live commentary from Newlands after this.
What a superb performance by Ryan Rickleton. Unbelievable work from him. His second Test 100. And they motored along beautifully in that session. 112 runs were scored. Didn't lose a wicket. They lost 3 in the first session. 72 runs were scored. So it was really good work from South Africa. And these views are quite extraordinary. Unbelievable views. Cape Town is a very special place. Look at that. Amazing.
Yeah, Rickleton will be feeling as if he's on top of the mountain. That kind of feeling. The all-conquering feeling you get. Yeah, you got to scale the heights, and Rickleton with the bat has been absolutely flawless.
He got his 100 off 135 balls, so it was the strike rate was really good from Rickleton. And from the moment he came out today, it looked like he was just in total tune with his own game, which is great to see.
Yeah, he certainly earned the right to be on top of the world, because he's played a hand that is quite sublime for his country here. Yeah, fans, parents, high fives all around.
Yeah, what a big moment it is for them, of course, and his teammates, they're on their feet as well. It was a special century. And don't forget that he perhaps wasn't going to be playing, I guess. That would have been the talk, I suppose. But then, of course, the injury to Tony Dezorzi has got him back in the side, and he's just played absolutely superbly. So that's how cricket works often. And he's the latest to take advantage of those discussions, I'm sure. So really good stuff from Rickleton. Got his 100 off 135 balls. Really good motoring. Right, here we go. So many overs left to go today. 1 ball shy of 40 overs, if we get them all in. So potentially some really hard graft for Pakistan if South Africa start off nice and steadily again the first half hour or so after the break.
I mean, it's the respect that you earn in the dressing room that is so important and priceless for any cricketer. If your mates start respecting what you've achieved for them, for your country, that becomes such a golden moment. And we saw a great reaction from the dugout. The moment he reached his 100, really was like everyone was behind him, supportive and appreciating that ton.
And his partner out there at the moment has gone to 50. It's on 51-10, solid as a rock.
Yeah, what I really enjoyed about the South African outfit is a change in mindset. About 18 months ago, that 100 figure was hard to come by. Over the last sort of 18 months, 1300s for this unit.
Caressing that, advancing and just stroking through the ball, no run.
And we talk about teammates appreciating the effort. See Temba Bavuma coming down the track, realizing that he's not at the pitch of it, just delaying his stroke. He's in excellent form himself, the South African captain.
It's been an amazing summer for him.
Yeah, use that form into creating something that you've not really done before. Expand your range a little bit, and I think we'll see Bavuma do that probably in this session. Against spin, first attempt of playing against the spin, another attempt at driving against the spin. 185 for 3.
So look at the ICC Test rankings, the men's batting, as of the 31st of December. Updated the end of last year, Joe Root at number 1, Harry Brook at number 2, Kane Williamson at number 3, Joe Swell at 4, Travis Head, who scored a truckload of runs, so Shaquille, nice to see him there, Smith, Kaminda Mendes, and Temba Bavuma at number 9, Perron Mitchell at number 10. So it's a special bunch to get in that top 10 in the ICC Test rankings for batting and bowling, of course. Around the wicket.
It's great to see new names, new faces in that top 10 list. So the usual spots are not really being given to the usual suspects. Yeah, Brook is a valuable addition to the list. Williamson, we know, is a class act, and Jaiswal is so good to watch. Travis Head, what an entertainer in Test match cricket. And then South Shaki, left-hander, making rapid strides in the top 10. And Bavuma also featuring there. Terrific lot.
What a punch. That's nicely played. Chases on. Masood is with the ball. They come back for 2.
Yeah, what I really enjoy about that list of names that we've just seen on your screen is the different kind of approaches by those different names that we've just seen. Jarud, more conventional. Harry Brook really attacking. Williamson, conventional. Jaiswal attacking. Head attacking. Sakil, a balance of the two. It just goes to show that you can accumulate runs in your own way.
I think the Test match rankings should soon have a column for entertainment also. I think you've got to give points to somebody like Travis Head, who makes Test cricket so much of fun. Unorthodox, brilliant match winner with his pace.
I mean, think about it. I'd struggle to get my head around the way he bats. I mean, he hits dot balls, which would normally be dot balls to almost everybody. He just slays them. Forward a point for 4. I mean, it's just ridiculous the way he plays. It really has given India a massive headache this summer.
Nicknamed as Travis Headache.
And Ramesh, you must be a big fan of the young Sam Constance then.
Yeah, he's different, absolutely different. Refreshing addition to Test match cricket. I think we see it more often now, the ingredients of T20 and ODIs being now engaged in Test match cricket, or sprinkled in Test match cricket.
I don't know if you heard me say earlier that he charged the first ball of the innings from Bumrah again today. Smacked it through mid-wicket for 4. Oh, that's a beautiful shot too. There's a sweeper out there. He's engaged. He's played so well. Temba Bavuma. 450 runs in the summer. Really good work from him, averaging 66. Got a century and 4 50s. And he's halfway to 3 figures again. Now 52 not out. Really has played beautifully again today. So controlled. Bit of an effort ball, sliding down that leg side. And scampering back for the second. 191 for 3.
Yeah, this partnership at the moment, 119 for South Africa. Perhaps concerning times for Pakistan. They have to come up with an answer. They have to take wickets. I just feel that this partnership is slowly but surely dragging the game away from them. Here's the contribution. Trickleton 62, Temba Bavuma 52. They want to make sure that they take this partnership as deep as possible.
So Naliaga again.
Safe to say this is kind of a sit-in period for Pakistan, and that happens in Test match cricket. So if you don't have answers to all the queries, then you've got to just wait and be patient. But there's got to be discipline and some kind of strategy, even when you're sitting in. So make sure that you don't leak easy singles, make sure that you don't leak easy fours, make it tough. And let South Africa feel that they're going to have a flat session as far as run scoring is concerned.
Got to start buzzing somehow. I know it's going to be difficult, but they've got to start buzzing a little bit up there. It's going to be hard to keep these two guys quiet because they're both very fine players, but very different players. slightly offline, they're going to be picked off.
Yeah, I think this is on your point, Ramis. You want to make sure that you control that run rate, because that's how you suffocate and frustrate batters. At the moment, the ones are coming by too easily. So perhaps they have to bring up one or two fielders. Let one of these two batters take an element of risk. Yeah, we always had a motto, if you can bowl 18 dot balls, you almost feel that something is about to give. So try and get into that sort of trend of thinking, that mode. Backing each other up with ball in hand. Often talk about batting in partnerships. You also have to bowl in partnerships, especially at this level.
All very important, excellent points, Vernon. I think Pakistan need to think on those lines. Who are your best bowlers that can do the deal for you, or such a deal for you?
A little bit of purchase. 193 for 3.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan, whilst you watch the game end on, that you perhaps just need your best 2 bowlers to bowl 3 overs for each. That's 6 overs in total. But it's really about setting the tone. The rest of the bowling unit will feed off that tone, of that energy. You have to make something happen. Pakistan will have to make something happen.
They've used 6 of Pakistan, 6 bowlers. 3 have been successful, 1 apiece for Abbas, Shahzad. Jamal it is now. Strong drive down the ground. Mid-on's come a little bit straighter. Just because of the brilliant straight driving, I think, that Ryan Rickleton has exhibited.
Yeah, I have to say I'm a massive fan of Khurram Shahzad, especially with the new ball. I was quite surprised today that he came on first change, because I thought he asked him wonderful questions of the South African batter's technique, especially in the test match up on the Highveld a couple of days ago.
Again to the man that's straighter.
We talk about setting the tone. You want your best bowlers to take the new ball. 14 overs for Mohammad Abbas. Khurram with their 10 overs. I feel underutilized. You want to have a bit more of him in the game, because he's the guy that brings you control. He also gives you that wicket-taking option. He has the ability to bowl a sharp bouncer as well, which I feel will be key in these kind of conditions.
Look at those economy rates as well. Will worry the skipper a little bit. Short with a bit of width, not too much width. Cracked away for 4. Good shot.
If you keep bowling that length, the economy will suffer more. So you got to be nice and tight. That length ball has to be within the stumps.
Yeah, this is exactly what's going to happen if you offer up some width. Ryan Rickleton, he's well set. He's not going to miss out on these scoring opportunities. Easy pickings. Excellent shot. Just look at how he gets himself into position. That head dead still at point of impact.
That man on the fence is well behind square on the offside, so he knew exactly where that fielder was and just smashed it straight there.
Yeah, I think also we've seen things happen at the rapid rate, playing up at Centurion. Conditions here vastly different. It's asking for bowlers to adapt, to be a little bit more patient in the process. Because if you're not, that man's going to capitalize on every single scoring opportunity available to him.
I presume Shan Masood has been a little bit surprised by this pitch. He shouldn't be, but this pitch has offered nothing for seamers at all, really. He thought it was going to be a bit in it for the first couple of hours at least. And he was quite happy to bowl. He said he was going to bowl had they won the toss. So this now becomes a hard day for Pakistan.
Let's have a look at the pitch. Hardly any grass off the straight, so very little grass for the bowlers really to make use of. So it has to be the length. And you've got to make sure that you find out your pitch map very quickly on a surface like this, Bernard.
Yeah, I've expected Pakistan playing on placid surfaces back home to make that adaptation quite quickly, to understand the lines, the lengths, bring those stumps into play. They just haven't been able to do that up until now.
Loud scream of no from Rickleton. 198.
कल पीर आया सी पुछदा सी तेरा कल पीर आया सी पुछदा सी तेरा हाँ अपना पीर ना है ठीक कोई
South African captain. You have to pick up these little clues whilst you're out in the field, and you have to work your way around them.
Effort delivery, short, put away quite easily just for one.
I've seen England do this quite regularly, this kind of field set where you have a bouncer field. 2 men there at mid-wicket in square leg, and so every ball is to be a short ball. Let's see what happens now. Because Rickleton has played that short ball so well, the swivel and making sure that he plays it down, good wrist work, good position to get him in when he's playing that pull shot.
Yeah, New Zealand do it, or used to do it also with Neil Wagner. So just run in, bowl short for half a dozen overs or so. They have to try something, that's for sure.
I think that strategy seems to work more on dodgy pitches where the ball is stopping at times and it's not coming through at pace or at a particular height. On this surface, I don't think it's going to be that kind of a challenge where batsman falters and gives his wicket away, but Pakistan must try.
Yeah, I think in many ways it also just changed the rhythm of play. As a batter, you're getting so used to getting in and lunging onto that front foot. Just a couple of short, push them a little bit back and then go back to the more conventional way of trying getting batters out, but they have to try something.
There's 2 men back on the hawk. It's not a bad ploy with 10 because he likes to go for the shot. If there's a short bouncer that is in his vicinity. Now this is just to look at the work, just to show how difficult it is to bowl to both of these guys. Rickleton strong in the off, also just behind in particular. So Rickleton's been really solid today. Some nice shots down the ground as well. And now look at Temba as well. Also strong in those 2 areas. In front of square on the leg side.
And it just goes to show the difference in 2 batsmanship that we have at hand here. One being awfully strong on the leg side and the other being awfully strong on the off side. So as a bowler, those are the little adjustments that you have to make whilst you're out there. You have to pick it up and then implement it whilst you're out there. But for Temba Bavuma, you perhaps want to stay away from being too straight. Made it earlier, you want to try and finish on it off stump line. That's still higher percentage of runs leak through the leg side.
Yeah, they dovetail beautifully together. They really do, these 2 guys. Very short, that delivery to finish the over. 210 for 3. Certainly not limping at the moment. Just to help with the cramp. All this doesn't help with the over rates, which has been very poor today from Pakistan. Yes, we have had some injuries, have had some interruptions. Temba getting some attention now. All the sort of things that the match referee takes into consideration. So they're genuine, like we saw with Sam Ayub. He couldn't actually, had to be carried off the ground, and that he's gone to hospital. We haven't any news whatsoever actually about him yet, so that doesn't seem like there's going to be any great news coming from Pakistan. If we do hear something, we'll let you know, but he will be a massive blow if he can't play in this test match anymore. Solid down the ground. Even more of a reason for South Africa to go as big as they possibly can after winning the toss and batting first. Without Ayub in the lineup, minus a very key batsman. Played beautifully in the white ball stuff.
Yeah, another look at Bavuma's wagon wheel. The fact that he's stays on middle and off guard allows him to play that leg side field so effortlessly. So driving through the offside because of his guard makes it just a little bit tough for Bavuma. So he's already there to play that flick shot. Doesn't really have to shuffle across because his stance is on that off-stump line. Pakistan need to read that and somehow fix it.
That's away for 4. And I think Mohammad Rizwan probably summed that up.
Yeah, nay is no. And it's not shut.
Yeah, and he's got the best seat in the house to see when the bowler's going to drag it short. Cried nay, and that's the reason why. Easy pickings for Themba Bavuma.
Nay, choka. Bread and butter, that's for Themba Bavuma. Spinner gets it down that leg side, so short. He had so much opportunity to put there wherever he wanted to put it. Another good over for South Africa, 216 for 3.
To be an absolute privilege to be in this wonderful city. Weather we've had as well. It's looking absolutely magnificent. What a day of Test cricket we've had. South Africa dominant in this partnership in particular. 144 runs now. Pakistan are starting to look void of answers. They've tried a few different plans, probably on plan E by now. Nothing is really working for them, despite having South Africa 70 runs. Somebody in the field also needs to lift the players who will come from just the captain.
याद है ना, अब उसे पता चलेगा कि उसके उसूल ज्यादा अहम है या उसका बेटा अहम है उसके लिए।
किससे डर रही?
They've had a good view all day.
उसने हमला किया था कबीले पे।
Pigeons enjoying themselves.
अर्तुरुल हलब से कामयाब लौटा है। अल अजीज ने उसे जमीन दे दी है। अर्तुरुल ने तो हमारा मंसूबा नाकाम कर दिया। क्या तुम ये समझते हो कि कुर्दोग लोग हार मान गए? मैं जानता हूँ उसे रास्ते से कैसे हटेगा।
रुक जाओ। कारा तोइगर को ये जिंदा चाहिए। उठाओ इसे।
A lot about the field that they were using in previous stints with Ramiz, Easy and Vern. It's this two fielders out leg side, square leg and in front of square as well. There's also fielders inside, a lot closer in leg side. Rates are certainly going to be an issue from Pakistan's point of view. There's a lot they'll take into account, of course, a break of the injury and all that has happened, but it is a little bit of an issue. Trying to make this field work for him at the moment with his line and the length. Enjoyed scoring through the leg side today, Temba Bavuma. He's been given the opportunity. It's 219 for 3. $147 is the partnership now.